Hey guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about a story that broke a couple of days ago. I meant to do it, but I got lost in translation, if that's the right term. But anyway, it's about a boy that drove a stolen car through a school playground during school hours, right? And drove through the playground, kids playing everything, parents, it looked like teachers or whatever, running to grab the kids because they recognized that this kid was young in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, this kid was 10 years old. And what's worse than that is, with him being 10 years old, he also had an extensive criminal record at 10 years old. That's scary. That's scary. A lot of people have are parents but ain't parenting any children. I want you to think about that. Look at some of the charges they say this boy done did. And these criminals are getting younger and younger, and it's like they growing up fast in the street. And when stuff happened to them, it happened to them. Take a look.
This was the moment a driver went on a joyride through a park right next to a playground filled with children. Minneapolis police say that driver was just 10 years old and the car was stolen. Luckily, no one was hurt. Even more shocking, the 10-year-old already has a long criminal history.
Lauren Lemanchek has been following the story all day and brings us the very latest. Lauren?
Yeah, you're right. That video is shocking. And so is the history of a 10-year-old boy who police say they've had 30 contacts with. Tonight, the Hennepin County attorney has charged the boy in that case and in a separate attempted carjacking. This case is an example, officials say, of major system failures.
It is literally a matter of life and death when we're talking about what's going on with these young kids.
When a 10-year-old allegedly drove a stolen car through a playground full of kids near Nellie Stone Johnson School in North Minneapolis, it wasn't his first run-in with police. MPD says he's been arrested twice before for car theft and is a suspect in more than 12 cases, ranging from stealing cars to assault with a dangerous weapon.
The system doesn't have an answer for what to do with someone this young. And that is the revolving door that we've been seeing over and over throughout this year.
An urgent problem Chief O'Hara says frustrates the kids' parents, too. KARE 11 recently interviewed the mother of a different 12-year-old who had been repeatedly picked up for stealing cars.
The kids, they sit and get all these cases and they keep letting them go. But that doesn't do anything. That's not helping solve the problem.
But in her son's case, and in so many others, there are no secure facilities in Minnesota for these very young kids to go. The county attorney's office says that needs to be solved right now.
We know what we need. We need residential placements with varying levels of security in our community.
Chief O'Hara agrees.
Someone like this, unbelievably at 10 years old, is so much at risk that when we are able to take them and bring them in, we can't just let them go.
In Minnesota, kids cannot be charged with a crime if they're under 10. So that boy likely had to be released without charges before. It's interesting to note, though, that law is changing upward. Starting in 2026, kids won't be able to face charges until they're 13. Something else the chief is extremely concerned about. Julie?
Oh my goodness. Lauren, it's just jaw-dropping. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, you've seen it. It's a goddamn shame. 10 years old. Got assault charges with a deadly weapon. I guess he was pulling the gun out and hitting people with the gun or whatever. Stealing cars multiple times. Now, they said this happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Shout out. And they let him go. A 10-year-old can't get charged with a crime. Ain't that some shit? You start to see kids kill kids like it's nothing. Did you see how he rode that car around that thing? He rode that car in circles. Vroom, vroom, vroom. No one grown-up see him. No one other kid see him. He just want to be seen. Look, I'm a little kid driving a car. Crazy. If he was mine, I'd have broke his fucking back. Like my granddad would have did me. It's no damn way, man. I'm going to tell you something. You could be a good parent and have badass kid. For all we know, he might have good parents. My thing is this, it's 10 o'clock. I mean, he's a 10-year-old kid. You don't know where your 10-year-old kid at? How you don't know where he's at? Unless he's supposed to be in school. Either way, this whole thing is crazy. Did you hear him? Oh, Minnesota don't have a secure place to take these kids when they do bad stuff. Yes, you do. The cemetery. Caskets come in all shapes and sizes, and these kids are running right to their own grave with some of the dumbest shit they do. That's the thing, man. It's like nowadays you can't even stop a kid from jumping in the fire or falling victim to street temptation when you know it's a bunch of death, gun smoke, drugs, bad habits, and havoc out there, and they want to run to it. Who do you blame? Who do you blame? I think part of it is movies and music. It is. Music and movies have shaped a lot of this street culture, especially in the black community. Now, I don't know if this kid is black, but either way, he's got a hold of something that got him thinking and acting like that. And that's real. Think about it. He'd been arrested, what they said, 16 times, 12 times or something like that. Can't remember the actual number. And he was let go. After a certain amount of time, having parents, they get tired of disciplining them, or it ain't working, this and that. And they, kids read you just like you read them. And they like, oh, well, nothing going to happen. So they do what they do and they cool with it. Kids always think they can outsmart their parents. Or a lot of times when they get in their teens, they think they smarter than their parents. And a lot of times it ends badly. On the path that he's going, at the trajectory he's moving at, he'd be surprised if he make it to 18. Kids like that have their hands in all things moving. The more ninja-like, the better. And you can't get through to them sometimes. Sometimes it might take something catastrophic, like getting blasted or messed up real bad, to where they change. But a lot of times it doesn't change them at all. That's the thing, man. When you get around 8 or 9 years old, your personality's basically developed. It just gets home with the socialization of you being around other people that you deem worthy of being around, like yourself. That's why, you see bad kids hang together. And they get worse and worse. And by them being males, they try to outdo each other. And they get more and more crazy. And their crimes get more and more gruesome and heartless. It's upsetting that this kid is 10 years old. And he's doing all of this stuff. The only thing good about it, he has time to stop. But you can't get through to some people. So how can you feel sorry? Like I told my son. I had a son that was wild like that. I bust his ass multiple times. And I wound up sending him back home to his mom, which he spiraled out of control. But I told her, I said, look, I can't care for you if you don't care for yourself. You carry my name, that means something. And it should mean something to you. You're my son, you're not nobody else's kid. I try to lead by example and show you the right things to do so where you could be successful when you carve your path out in life. If you don't do that, that's on you. It's not on me. I can't feel guilt after that. Or remorse because I gave you the best of me. Now, whether you paid attention when I was giving, you the life lessons, that's on you. It's just sad. It was dangerous. He could have hurt somebody. And if he had slipped and ran over one of them kids, you know what he would have did? Skirt! And took off. Leaving somebody wounded, possibly dead. And the thing that's messed up is this 10-year-old boy got the same mindset of a lot of people that are grown men that are doing the same thing that he's looking up to and he's watching. Older people set the example. And every time I see all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, show them the flowers. This is why. Because kids watch. They don't do what you say, they do what you do. And for him to be that good at stealing a car, he had to be taught it, and he had to see somebody else do it. Blind leading the blind. It's a damn shame. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.